As we come to the end of our journey through time, I'll leave you with the island pioneers. Listen to their living history stories of the life and times of the people that make up Fort Myers Beach today. Thanks for sharing time with us, and we hope that you'll return another day, another time to explore on your own this 60-acre site here, a natural habitat that's still left on this narrow island. So let's see about those island pioneers.
Well, Jack, you were right. Once the first bridge was constructed, this island changed forever.
You got that right, AJ. Remember back in the day before that bridge, the only way you could get to the island was by boat, and they'd all go out the Winkler Hotel right across the street here. That pier going way out there, you had to have a schooner to get out there. And I think parts of that pier are still out there, the pilings, aren't they, AJ?
Yep, the pilings are still out there. Remember, Jack, we're going to remember back in time in 1921, we had a toll bridge. Remember, it was 54 cents. It was the old drawbridge to a fishing village of a few families and a fish house.
Yep, that's right. A few families, but they had lots of boats and lots of nets. The whole back bay was all filled up with net spreads, and there was all kinds of boats at every dock back there. The whole back bay shoreline, remember that?
Oh yeah.
It was a real genuine fishing village, that's for sure.
It was a small fishing village. Jack, your family was the first to live on the mound at Connecticut Street. After the Calusa left the site, of course.
Yeah. That's true, AJ. That was the Ellis family. I'm related to the Ellises.
That's right.
They lived right down there where the mound house is now.
Yep.
But I guess it was kind of lonely for them on the island here. There wasn't anybody else here, so they moved over to Sanibel where there were some people over there. And afterwards, when this place got a little bit more repopulated, they came back. They lived right down there and where the old coquina factory is. Remember the coquina factory?
Oh yeah.
They used to boil down those little clams and can it up for like clam juice, and they sold that. That didn't go over that good though. That business only lasted a couple of years. But I remember walking past there as kids. That was a scary place there.
Ooh, I remember that. Yep, that was a scary place.
Well, but if you remember right, AJ, you're going to remember this. Even scarier than that was all the traffic that bridge brought to the island. All of a sudden, we couldn't just go play on the sand like we used to anymore. Cars going up and down like crazy. And you actually get hit by a car up there.
I did. I got clipped. Yep, I got clipped on the beach when they used it as a highway. And then after the construction of that first bridge in 1921, Tom Phillips built a casino with gambling and dancing on the beachfront with bathhouses. He added 7 overnight guest cottages. They had thatched roofs. And the first of the 3 canals, which were down there on the island, were made for the development of the waterfront lots. Remember those?
Oh yeah. By that time, the cars were flying up and down the beach like crazy. It was the highway. And they had the old Seminole Sands Hotel and Casino was down there on the beach. Oh yeah, don't remind me of that. I still think about those cars on the beach racing up and down. They wrecked this place.
And that cottage over there, that historic cottage was built in 1921. It was the first cottage built after the bridge on the beachfront. The Davidson family built that cottage, and families living in town had no air conditioning, so they would build little cottages out here on the beach as second homes, so they could come out here and cool off, and with a cool Gulf breeze, and swim in the Gulf of Mexico.
Yep, that's right. That rain barrel over there, that cistern, that's all they had. There was no running water on the whole beach until, I'd say back in the 30s, in the 1930s at least. Any time prior to that, all the water was rainwater. They caught it in big cisterns like that, and that's the only fresh water that they had.
That's what we used. Yep. And then we had the 1926 hurricane. It washed away the Seminole Sands Hotel and the pavilion and the bridge. So the second bridge was installed. We remember that one. And that was the old swing bridge. That was installed in 1928. Lots of history with that one.
Oh, I remember that one. That was definitely that stopped traffic in both directions when they got putting that bridge in and get it done. But it was fun when it was done, when they got it done, because we used to have a good time. That's the swing bridge. We used to go out there and help the guy open the bridge. Remember that?
Oh yeah.
Remember playing on top of the on the arches there too. We weren't supposed to, but as kids we used to crawl along the top of that.
Yep.
Remember that, AJ?
Yep, we had that bridge, and there were no tolls on that one.
No
We were
tolls,
lucky.
that's right.
And then in the 1930s, they built the Sanders Boatyard with a sawmill. And the Sanders Boatyard was located right down the street here. It's where the Publix is today. And they repaired and built boats and delivered supplies and the mail and lumber for construction. That means we were getting buildings. During these years, in 1937, the first Mayhew Page Cottage became the school. It was grades 1 to 3, and it was a one-room schoolhouse. In 1938 was the first Chapel by the Sea, and it's where Chapel by the Sea is today. And everybody went. It didn't matter what denomination you were. Everybody went to Chapel by the Sea. In 1939, we had 2 grocery stores. We had 4 hotels. We had the Gulf Shore Inn. And guess what? It's where the Gulf Shore Grill is today. We had the Pelican. Does anybody remember the Pelican? Well, that's where Junkanoo's is today. We had the Beach Hotel, which was a nice hotel, and that's where the Beach Caper condominiums are today. And we had the Commodore, and that's where Smuggler's Cove condominiums are today. In the 1940s, now we're moving up in time. In the 1940s, we had phone service. We got phones. A party line, you know. Does anybody remember party lines? Yeah. Well, we had those too. We had mail service as far as Connecticut Street. Can you believe it? Got mail all the way up there. We had a volunteer fire department. The Red Coconut got telegram deliveries. The houses didn't have numbers. We had names. Like we had little cottage names, like the Mayhew Cottage. We had mosquito control. That's what made life a lot easier. Mosquito control was DDT being sprayed out in the mist behind a Jeep. Anybody remember that? I used to ride my bike through those mosquito sprayers. We all see who could get in that cloud. And the population in 1942 was 473 people. Then came the war years, World War II. Jack, have you checked the fishing lines yet?
Oh, I'll go out there and see if we got anything.
Well, you better do it if we're going to have any dinner tonight.
You know, it gets so crowded on this dock. I used to have this whole dock all to myself when I went fishing. Now you can hardly find a doggone fishing spot in the whole dock. All these newcomers come.
Stop your
Where the heck
whining
all
and
these
get
new
the
people
fish.
come from anyways?
Get some fish with you, Jack. You got to eat tonight. All right. He's going to get that fish for us, I hope. By 1945, 1944, we had all those soldiers that came over here. It was amazing. They had the military base at Buckingham Field, and they would come over here with their families, and you know what? Some of them wound up moving over here after they got out of the service. Okay, Jack. You ready? I'm ready for dinner almost.
All right.
All right.
About that, huh?
Yeah.
At least you can still catch a couple small ones here.
At least you got something, Jack. We're going to eat tonight.
Yeah, we're eating all right.
Oh, nice. There you go.
Oh, yeah. We're eating good. We're eating large,
my
living large
goodness.
tonight, AJ.
All right, I'm going to like the looks of that. That's looking pretty darn good to me, I can tell you that. I hear they're going to build another bridge. What do you think of that? Down the south end of the island in the 1950s, you know.
Yeah, the 1950s, right. You know what that means. You'd be lucky if you see them even begin it in the 1960s. The way things move around here.
Yeah, man.
I'll believe it when I see them start it.
That's where we used to fish for sharks down there at the south end. Jack, did you ever think we'd be called pioneers?
Of course. That's why they call us the visions of the past.
Yay!
AJ.
Yay!
That's it. Clap.
I just want to let you know that the names of the people that we're using, Jack and AJ, are real people. And I was very nervous because the real AJ is right back there on the picnic bench. And that
was our first time. This is our first performance.
Jack, the real Jack's family did live on the mound. AJ's mother was the first school teacher in this town. So they are living history. After you get done with us, please go visit the cottage. They've got some great history books for sale. And please go visit the Friends of Matanzas Past Preserve table, because that's how we keep these wonderful little free events going. Thank you all very, very much.
Thank you. Very good.
Thanks, Mike.
At Estero Island Historic Society, you can learn about the past, walk along the paths at Matanzas Past Preserve.